Dear brothers and sisters, June 4th, not just another day in the calendar. It is an international day of innocent children victims of aggression, reminding us, looking at us to do something for them now, especially children of brave soldiers who gave their children today for our children's tomorrow. Let us unite for the great cause post COVID 19. Get inspired by Irina Sendler. Jai Hind.
Namaste. I am learning with my brothers and sisters sign language in English to help who cannot talk and hear like me. But they are my brothers and sisters too. Jai Hind.
I saved over 2,500 children in the Holocaust. I gave them each a new name and a new family. I risked my life numerous times to get them to some place where they could be safe, though it wasn't always easy. Who am I? I am Irina Sendler. I was born in 1910 in Otwock, about 15 miles southeast of Warsaw, Poland. My father, a great physician and one of the very first Polish socialists, taught me to love and respect everybody, regardless of their ethnicity or their social status. Many of my father's patients were poor Jews. Then a horrible disease came, and my father was the only one to stay in the area. Unfortunately, he contracted the disease. His dying words to me, his 7-year-old daughter, were, if you see anyone drowning, jump in and save them, even if you don't know how to swim. Even before the war, I was loyal to the Jews. At Warsaw University, where I went to school, I stood up for my Jewish friends. The Jewish students were forced to sit apart from the other students, though that didn't stop me. One day at lunch, I went to go sit on the Jewish side of the room with my Jewish friends, and when the teacher ordered me to move, I simply replied with, "No, I'm Jewish today." I was expelled immediately. Even because of my act, decades later, my grandchildren couldn't get into Warsaw University. Then, a horrible man named Adolf Hitler took over the Germans and invaded Poland. By the way, Adolf Hitler wanted to destroy all the Jews in the entire world. Many people sided with Germany, but myself and many other Jews sided with the other local Polish countrymen. Then, Hitler completely took over Poland, and I, of course, was devastated. Now, the Jewish loyalties meant nothing at all. Later on, I joined the Warsaw Welfare Social Department. We were in charge of the soup kitchens that were located in every district of the city. We give out food, money, and clothing to the elderly, the poor, and the orphans. Then, in 1939 to 1942, I got a hold of forged documents. I then listed many Jews under Christian names so that they could get a hold of these services. I also listed them as typhus and tuberculosis victims to avoid any investigations. I felt like I wasn't doing enough, so I joined Zagoda, the secret aid to the Jews in the Warsaw Ghetto. This group was organized by the Polish Underground Resistance, which operated out of London with the help of many British soldiers. Through this, I was able to smuggle in food and clothing to the Jews in the Warsaw Ghetto. When the Germans invaded Poland, they sectioned off a huge area of Warsaw with a big cement wall. They put all the Jews in it and made sure that the wall was completely surrounded with guards. Again, I felt like I wasn't doing enough, so I decided to smuggle out people instead of just smuggling in things. And I decided that smuggling out the children was the best idea. I had many things I smuggled out the children with. I smuggled them out in suitcases, bags, sacks, body bags, coffins, or anything else I could find. One way I became famous for smuggling out infants was I would walk up to the ghetto wall with my purse, with my little dog in it. The guards would let me in, I would take the infants, hide them in my purse, underneath my dog, and I would walk out. I was able to do this until finally the Germans caught up to me 2 years later, and they had me tortured. They broke both my feet and my legs. Then they told me that I was to be executed the next day, and I accepted this with pride. Little did I know that Zagoda had bribed one of the German guards to letting me out at the last moment. Then I finally escaped, and the guard put me on the list of those who had died. I even saw posters the next day of my death. And then the Germans figured out their mistake and began to pursue me again. They also figured out that the guard had helped me, and they sent him to the Russian front, for they felt that that sentence was even worse than death. And then, when I got back to the Warsaw Ghetto, ready to smuggle out more children, I had found out that it had been liquidated. I lived my life in hiding until finally the war ended in 1945. I then lived peacefully and quietly until a teacher in Kansas gave 2 teenagers a project, and that project was to find Holocaust rescuers, and they then came across me and I became known to the world. I was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize, but I lost to Al Gore on his movie on global warming. I was also interviewed on ABC News, where I told them that the world could not go on if people did not have love, tolerance, and humility. I then died on May 12, 2008, in my tiny retirement home in Warsaw, Poland. I will always be remembered as the woman who saved many children from the Warsaw Ghetto and who risked my life for the Jews in many situations. I'll also be remembered as being very brave and courageous. I'm truly a figure not to be forgotten. I am Irina Sendler. Thank you.